Hello, everybody. It's Stephen and Walter here again for another episode of So Chatty. I know you've been waiting all week on bated breath for this. You're so excited. We've made your day. Yeah. Okay, let's pursue my dreams no further. So it is episode number 147, and it is June 28th, and it is the end of the June, and it's the start of the big weekend here in Canada. It's the long weekend in Canada. Canada Day, or as we used to call it many moons ago, Dominion Day. And you guys in the States, those of you in the States, are going to have July the 4th coming up real soon. And it is Pride weekend in Toronto. So there'll be 3 million people, literally 3 million people on the streets of Toronto on Sunday when the big parade happens, and it'll be a zoo and we will not be part of it. But you will notice behind Walter's head, I do have my Progressive Pride flag quilt up. And when I got that done, they stuck another thing on the flag. Now there's a circle up in top of the V that I'm not sure what it stands for.
I looked it up, but I can't remember.
I don't remember either, and it was something, okay, I'm not going to say it was stupid. I just think it's just crazy.
It just goes overboard.
I mean, it's like
why don't they just say everybody other than straight? So.
I think they should just get rid of the whole term LGBTQ2TSAABCDEFGHIJK and call it rainbow. Just call it the rainbow. It encompasses everybody. The rainbow has every color.
But then the rainbow ones don't like it because they're not included in the rainbow for some reason, and they want different colors.
Everybody's in the rainbow. Everybody, because that was why they picked the rainbow originally, because it's all inclusive. Because there's every color. I know, but
everybody wants to be special.
Well, some of them are real special. I don't care, but this is how it's going to stay. I'm not putting a circle on it. Too bad. So sad. Cry me a river. Yeah. Anyways, I would have to applicate it, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to my quilt. Quilt's already quilted. It's done. It's done. It's over. It's done with. There it is.
They should have a different one on the V just gay men. So, and a different one for, it's getting to the point where.
That's why I said it's getting ludicrous. It's just too much. Too much. But anyways, and that's the other reason we're not going into Toronto this weekend, because it's just too much.
Yeah, well, the problem is it gets so busy. You can't really drive in because the roads are half of them are all closed. And you can't find a place to park down there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, okay, so driving down there is impossible. So then you can take public transit, but then you're sort of stuck for the day.
And public transit into Toronto is not a sure thing because they close things down, especially on weekends, to do track maintenance or some other thing. Or if it gets too hot, they can't do the cars because the rails warp. Who would have thought, you would think that steel wouldn't warp.
Well, and besides that, the parade's on Sunday, and we usually do our
We're usually in church at that time praying to our Lord.
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're doing our live on that. So we're not going. We haven't been in many years, actually.
Yeah, I know even people downtown Toronto tend not to go. They're gay, tend not to go because it's too busy.
And the other thing, too, is it falls right on the same weekend that the Canada Day celebrations happen as well. So there's even more of a zoo down there. Everybody and their dogs in the city. Yeah. You think New York City, those of you that are Americans and have been to New York, and we've been to New York, and you think New York is busy and a hellhole to drive around in, I have news for you. It does not compare to Toronto. No, there was a day, but not anymore. So, anyways, best to stay away from the city this weekend. So we are. Okay, before we get into main event today, which is Walter and Lucey again, let's talk about what we've been working on. So I'll show you my things first, of course. This is the result of the jelly roll race that we did with Stephanie Stitches and Shannon and Russ and Ingrid's friend back there a week or so ago. And it's waiting for me to put it on Lucey and get it quilted. And then it's going off to, once I have it bound, it's going off to Project Linus. It's a donation quilt. But it's a great way to make a donation quilt, and I'm sure many of you know what a jelly roll race is. I knew what it was. I had never done one before until now, and I'll have to say the first little part of it is very tedious as you put strips together end to end. But after a while, once you get going with it, it's not so bad. It's kind of, you don't really have to think. And it's a great way to use up a scrap jelly roll or jelly roll pieces too. Then of course I did finish at least the top of Stephanie's retreat that she had on Sunday. This was her pattern, the which she called pinwheel picnic blanket. It's only about 40 by 40. It's a small little thing, but it's supposed to be. And I did my own thing with the border on there.
You also did your own thing.
I did my own thing in the layout too. Okay, I looked at the pictures, and this is what I saw. I didn't really read at that point about assembling the quilt, but then I saw Stephanie's. It was on her design board the other day while we were doing sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, and I said, oh, that's a cool idea, alternating the middle row so that on each one of those blocks there's a strip of fabric, a sashing piece on it. And on Stephanie's, she had turned the middle row pieces upside down so that little sash piece was at the top, and it made they're all the same size, but it staggered them. And I thought, well, that's an interesting technique. And she says, it's in the pattern.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I know.
That's why you put that strip on that one side.
On what side?
You put a strip on the bottom.
Yeah.
On one side, right?
Yeah.
So that you could turn it upside down and alter the rows.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't read that.
Why, you should have.
I saw the picture. I
even noticed it when I was putting it together because I kept thinking to myself, why should I be sewing a strip on one side? And then I looked at her pattern and I noticed that they were staggered. And I said, oh, that's cool. That's a cool idea. To put the strip on that one side so that it was easy to stagger.
It might have also explained why she sewed it in columns instead of rows when putting it together, which I kind of thought was unusual, but I did it that way. But yeah, I missed that instruction. I looked at the picture. You show me a picture. I go to the picture first.
Well, she has it in the picture.
Yeah, I know. But when I printed out my pattern.
What? It was different?
No, the lines are very light.
No, but you can still, the lines are light, but not if you look at the picture at the front of her pattern, staggered.
Well, I didn't see that. My eyes don't see staggered. They straighten things out. Oh, you're so...
But I saw that.
Oh, aren't you just... I am so happy for you. I am glad you are. Well, I'm not complaining about it. It looks fine.
It's your own unique version.
It's just fine. Did you ever finish yours?
No, because I got busy with finishing that stupid shirt.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to sew on one button.
Where?
Right at the bottom. I don't know if
I don't use that one.
Okay.
So you can leave that
because
off.
I noticed I had an extra button left over, and I was thinking, well, that can't be. I can't.
Well, the pattern showed it. You should have seen it. It was in the instructions.
I can add it anytime you like.
Yeah, well, I could change this around anytime I like too, but I'm not going to. Because
then you have to pull out stitches. I don't have to pull out stitches. I have just put another button on.
You're just so goddamn perfect, aren't you? You're just a special little treat. Really. Moving on. Yeah, and that's how I feel right now with that picture. This is Walter's latest shirt, the one he forgot to put the button on.
On the bottom.
Yeah, this fabric was the fabric that Philippa gave you.
Gave us.
Gave us, yes. Well, I'm wearing it, so there you go.
I have some left over if you'd like.
I think I should give up my day job and become a model.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
A little better.
Oh, look, I'm surprised. I backed into something
Actually, you
cold.
can't even tell that I put green buttons on there.
Yeah, you can if you look at it closely. Here. There's a green button. 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 Oh, look, it's missing a button. What a shame. That's horrible. How could you do such a thing? Shoddy workmanship, really. I don't know. Well, I love my new shirt. He's making me another one. And moving on then to this, you're making another shirt. So that's what you're doing this weekend. Is
yes,
that
I am.
what you're working on? Yeah, we'll see how far you get on that. Did you get all your pieces cut out?
Yes, I did.
Got your buttons selected?
No, I don't have a button selected. I usually do that to the last minute. But I got my thread selected, and I've got my pattern cut out, and I've got the pieces that need to be interfaced. Well, actually not. I have to cut out some interfacing. So.
And so so as most of you know, this Saturday, tomorrow, we're doing this on Friday. On Saturday, tomorrow, June the 29th, I am having another pop-up sew day. Yes, we just had one 2 weeks ago, but that's okay. I'm calling it the Pride Edition. And I did send out an email yesterday, a reminder to everybody about it again. I sent one out on Monday. I sent one out on Thursday. You know, we're celebrating Pride and wear something colorful if you so desire or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay. That's why I have the flag up behind us because that'll be up there tomorrow for the pop-up sew day as well. But meanwhile, Walter will not be joining us. I know, boo-hoo, fan club are all in tears over this. He's going, what are you doing, checking your own buttons now? Did you miss one?
I'm just checking something. I do something. I change things.
This is one of my older
I
shirts.
know. I made a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. I changed the way I did things.
What was that you said? What was that? What I didn't catch that word. You made a what?
Wasn't a mistake.
A glaring error?
It was a design feature.
Yeah, when I do something like that, it's a mistake. When he does it, it's a design feature. I prefer to call it a customization.
Actually, I really like that shirt.
Well, it's mine, and I'm going to wear it. I'm not premiering it yet. I'll be premiering it on Stephen and Walter Live on Sunday. Okay, so tune in to see my gorgeous shirt. I think I've lost a little weight.
I need to make a few more shirts. Yeah, I think you have lost.
I've lost a little weight on this new diet we're on. This don't eat anything you like diet. Don't eat anything that doesn't taste. You can eat anything you want as long as it tastes like cardboard.
You're not eating a pound of chocolate every week.
A pound of chocolate. You're force feeding me ice cream though. You even bought me sprinkles the other day.
Yeah, I did.
Sprinkles! I have to have sprinkles on my ice cream. Anyways, pop-up sew day tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You come and go as you please. You don't have to be there right at 8. I know some of you will be double dipping tomorrow because Sean will have his usual brunch with the guy who sews. And he's got Russ on tomorrow as well. I know where your loyalties lie. I'm not hurt. You go off and see Sean and Russ. Remember, I'll still be here when you're done with them. Okay? Always. No. So anyways, you can double dip if you want. It's up to you. Come, go, whatever. A lot of you might be going off on the long weekend to go to cottages or someplace nice. I don't know what the weather for the weekend is. I think it's sort of a mixed bag. I think tomorrow it's supposed to rain in certain parts, at least in our area. Maybe in other parts of the world it's not doing that, I'm sure. So whatever, but everybody is welcome. Okay, and link for it is in the show notes below and in all my videos. Now speaking of sew days, okay, my birthday's coming up, and so last couple of years I've always tried to plan a pop-up sew day near my birthday. My birthday's on Bastille Day. You'll have to look that up, July 14th. And so July 14th technically falls on the Sunday, but I'm going to have the pop-up sew day on July 13th, which is the Saturday. So that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's another pop-up sew day. It's my birthday bash, and because it's my birthday, I am going to have a few prizes. Yes, in the form of Amazon gift certificates. Because I'm sorry, people, but if I'm putting out money for Amazon gift certificates, I'm not putting out money to ship you something through the post office. They'll be electronic. What do you think? I made money? No. So that's on that occasion. It's my birthday, so we're having fun. So bring your best birthday presents. That's in 2 weeks' time. Actually, there's a pun on the word presents. Bring your best birthday present. Yeah, we can't give anything. Anyways, so that's July the 13th. There'll be more details and everything, as there always is, when we get closer to the date. Okay. So anything you would like to add? Oh, we did a little shopping. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek at what I bought yesterday. Now, I did not intend to buy what I bought, but isn't that always the way? So we went to Annie's Quilt Shop, which is, place east of us by about half an hour or so. She was having a big sale, in store only, 25% off everything in the store. Now her prices are on the upper end of the scale. Her prices are basically $23 a meter.
So mind you, I was looking at some other fabric in the back that was more plain. I don't know about those ones, but
Oh, the blenders you mean?
yeah, they
She
were
had,
blenders. You know the ones that I bought with the little
yeah,
dots on it, right?
yeah,
The Moda ones.
yeah.
She was charging 13.70 for those.
Whoa,
Yeah,
I didn't look at that. That's cheap.
yeah.
Wow, because I think she had some uh, Toscana
Yeah,
there too from Northcott. I wonder what that price was on
that's
that.
probably not that bad either.
So might as well. Okay.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Yeah, should have looked at that. Didn't think of that. Anyways, I got 25% off on all of these things. Now, what I went in there for are the two you see in the middle, the one with the maple leaves. She said she had Old Canada from Northcott, and I like that line of fabric. And I'm thinking, well, I should make another quilt of valor, and I like to use those fabrics as part of the quilt. So I was going to go in and stock up a little bit more my stash of these. That was it. That's all she had.
Shirley was advertising Old Canada and stuff too.
Yeah, I know, but I went and I looked last time we were in, unless she got more in. She didn't have much either
Okay.
on it. So I don't know. They're probably trying to get rid of it.
More than likely.
In fact, I think they've come out with I'm not sure. Those one with the red maple leaves on it might be a little different. I think they're newer, and the ones with actually both of those I think are newer, because I also bought, and I'm not showing it here, but I bought the panel for this branch of it. I really like the panel. The panel is the Parliament buildings, nestled in with some maple leaves and stuff like that, and it's a great looking panel. So I may do something with that panel in this as a quilt of valor. But I am going to show all of these fabrics in more detail. I made a video clip, but I'm going to save that for the Idiot Quilter. So this is just a taste. I did buy some more green and red Christmas fabric, because those are great background fabrics. And you can never, you can always use those. I have to watch it. I've got a lot of Christmas fabric, and I don't plan on making a lot of Christmas quilts this year, because I've got probably about 20 sitting in the crawl space waiting to come out at Christmas. They only come out once a year. And then this other line I'd forgotten about that she carries it is called Burlap. And I think it's by, it's Benertex.
Yeah.
And I love Benertex fabrics, and they're not easy to get in our area.
Mind you, when we go on our trip to the States,
we might get
Ohio,
more. Yeah.
Benertex is an American product, so
yeah, so we'll probably get it in places there. But I love this line, this burlap. I've had some of it before, and I used it in, I forget what project I used it in, but I bought some more. I bought 2 meters of each of these colors. There's other colors in the line too, but these are the ones that I like the best. I probably should have got a little green.
Mm-hmm.
I always stay away from greens and oranges, and I'm decidedly lacking in those in my collection of fabrics. But anyways, yeah, it was a sale. I just went in for a couple of things, came out with a bucket of it. But you know how that works. Did you buy anything?
No, I didn't buy anything because I got a ton of fabric, and I figure I want to save for when we go to the U.S.
Oh yeah,
to buy maybe some stuff, because I don't. I just have way too much fabric. I can't. Don't need place for it.
I'm running out of floor space.
I'm running out of floor.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta clean up some of the stuff that I've got. So.
I've heard that so many times. I have to clean up.
I have a lot of this clothing fabric that I bought on a spree when it was on sale, and some of it is stuff that is hard for me to use because it ends up. I bought some canvas that was really, really stiff canvas, and so I got to see about using that stuff up. I was thinking of making a bunch of bags or something.
Yeah, bags would be good. Yeah, you could make a whole bunch of bags out of that, because I have a good idea what those bags could be used for.
Yeah, I know. I kind of figured that.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. Now, you've heard us mention twice on here already about going to the States. We're not going to say any more about that because there's a story involved. All I'm going to say is this was a secret, and the secret is now going to be revealed on Sunday on Stephen and Walter Live, so tune in for it. We weren't going to reveal the secret this soon, but there are circumstances. So we'll talk all about those on Sunday. Yes, it is a teaser. I'm wicked, I know. So, okay. Anything else before we jump into part 4 of Walter Does Lucy that comes to mind that we should tell the people?
No, really, I can't think of anything.
No, I can't think of anything else. So, without further ado, we're going to jump into today's segment. This is the second last segment. This one is kind of lengthy. It runs about 33 minutes on there, so you may want to fast forward to it, but this is where we get into the real nitty-gritty of using Lucy to, do the quilting, plus I had to show Walter how to change out bobbins as well, or to put in a new bobbin and things like that. So, and apparently you are all you think this is all very humorous. I'll let you know in a secret. We don't create humor. This is just how it is. It just happens, okay? It's not planned to be funny, but not even sure why you find it funny, but whatever floats your boat. So, here it is. Walter Does Lucy, part 4. Okay, so we have finished the tracing of the pattern, and we know that it's going to be where it's supposed to go. So now we get into the actual sewing. So, on your screen over here, what you want to do is hit pull bobbin.
Pull bobbin?
Pull bobbin. Now the machine is going to move.
Okay.
Yep, click OK. You can disengage those warnings, but I don't. They're just good reminders about certain things. So this is moving over to where it's going to start, and it's going to take a single stitch. It's going to drop the needle down one, and then come back up, and you can pull the bobbin thread like we did before at that point. And then we can start our sewing. Now, just wait for it. It will do it. Okay. It's come down. It's going to come up. Now you're going to pull the bobbin thread up.
Yeah, okay.
I'll just get you in the shot here. Okay, got it pulled up. All right, now what you want to do at this point is, because you're going to trim these little tails off, is hold your 2 threads in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure these are out of the way. It's getting bent down a little bit. And you're going to hit sew, and it's going to do a lock stitch to start with. So just let it do its thing. Don't pull too tight. Don't pull tight. Don't pull tight. Just let it. Don't pull tight. Okay. Trim those off. And the machine is doing its thing. All nice and really lonesome. Now you can see. At this point, you could look at it and say, "Ooh, I don't like that," and stop the machine real quick, and then you have to pull out stitches. You can trim to be fine. So here's a close-up of what Lucy is doing right now. This is Walter's pattern here on the screen that he picked. And actually, I think it's going to look quite nice. What do you think?
Yeah,
What don't you like?
I don't know. I'm just not used to doing this sort of thing, so.
You have to
It's
remember,
really
you're
fine.
only going to see one road right
Yeah,
now until it blends in. I think it'll suit the pattern, suit your quilt very nicely. I mean, you said you didn't want anything really dense. I think it's going to look fine. And don't forget, quilts change their appearance once you put a binding on them. And then when you wash it, it'll puff up a little bit if you decide to wash it. I can't remember, do these fabrics bleed? You pre-wash them.
Yeah, they
didn't you?
do bleed.
They bleed a lot?
Well, I washed it quite a bit before so I don't think it's too bad.
Well,
not only that, the other color in here is white, so if it tinges a little blue, it tinges
No. Well, we'll put in the color catchers in with it too. So this is going to do its thing. Now, what will be coming up will be when we have to replace the bobbin thread. According to this, the bobbin length, the total stitches in one row is 12,193. I know from past experience that about 28,000 and some stitches is how much you can get out of a bobbin. So this will probably do 2 zones, but when it starts working in on the 3rd zone, it will probably run out. And we're going to let it run out so Walter can figure out how to get the machine to go back to where it should be when you replace a bobbin. That's going to be fun. Okay, so it has finished its first zone, and now it's time for Walter to move the quilt ahead. So, first thing you have to do is, your needle is up, but you're still attached to your bobbin thread. So it says here, finished zone. Proceed to next zone. So just hit that button. And it says, have you completed sewing the zone? This includes pulling the bobbin thread and making any needed repairs. This will also clear all pattern clips regions, so touch yes to advance to the next zone. Not yet. What we need to do is, it's released the carriage right now, this part, so we can pull up your bobbin thread. So it's just the way we did before. And we'll just cut the bobbin thread. And we'll just cut that thread. And now we're going to say yes, and it's going to give us another instruction. It says, manually move your machine near the location flagged on the screen with red. After you hit OK, the software will automatically move the machine to the precise location. So you can do this manually. I let it do it automatically. I just hit OK, and now it's going to go, and it's going to go towards the center bottom of the quilt. And this is where we're going to mark our spot with a piece of painter's tape. So we can roll the quilt ahead. So it'll be properly spaced between rows. So you take this piece of paper tape, and you the painter's tape, and you slide it under here. Yeah, and just push it down, like let it stick to the quilt. Okay. All right. Now on here, you're going to mark it. So you hit single stitch. So it goes down, it'll come up. Okay, so it has marked it. Now, when it says it's done, click on continue. You're going to get another set of instructions. It says, are you sure all zone markers have been properly placed? Yes. Touch no if you wish to return to the marking zones. Okay. Just say yes. The machine will now move to where the fabric marker for the next zone should be positioned. So just click OK. Now the needle is going to move up towards the top of the quilt. We leave the tape in place. And now you take off your clamps on both ends. So you take the clamps off. Now you're going to use the foot pedals. Right. Yes, but before you do that, you've got to take the clamp off here. So take your clamp off, but hang on to the wheel.
The wheel.
Yeah. So lift up, just so it doesn't. Okay. Straight up there. Okay. Now click, hit wind, and this piece, the marker, we want it to be as close to the center of that needle as we can get it. It's centered there. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, stop. All right. Tighten this up. So wind it so this is a little tighter. Okay. Clamp it. Man or a mouse? Okay. Now you want to pull on your quilt so that, what are you worried about? That's off the side. Don't worry about that. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine on the back. Okay, you want to straighten this. So start from the center here. And just gently tug it. And then go around. Are you paying attention? Your head's into the camera. Do not pull it to the side.
Okay.
Get your hands off the side. Just down in here. And then take your hand and smooth it. No, 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 no. Don't be going outwards because you're going to distort. See?
Okay, well, I don't know.
Well, that's what I said, but you jump right to it before I tell you what to do. Make sure there's no bulges in it. Now, after you've done this with it, sometimes you might want to tighten this just a hair. Now you got to put your clamps back on.
Clamp it.
Clamp it. Clamp it good.
Jethro.
Yeah. It's the hillbilly quilt.
Got a couple of wrinkles in them.
Where? Here. No, those aren't wrinkles. Just, you'll never get. There'll be those. But what happens is, when the thing underneath comes over, it stretches that out a little bit.
Okay.
So that won't make a pucker. Okay. You want to look though for ones that would make a pucker, which would be very glaring. Okay. Looks pretty good. Now we have to baste it again down the sides. So we click OK on this. And yes, you have moved the fabric, so click OK. Now we want to reposition it. So you don't move anything that's here. All you need to do is hit that green box. Okay, it's now positioned where it should be on here. Now it did move it a little bit, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. So now what you want to do is move over to your sides and baste down the sides like you did at the beginning. So this should be released at this point in time. But before you do that, you might want to save it because we're now in zone 2. So you hit the, what are you looking at?
The camera's not pointing at anything.
Are you happy now? Here, move it in a little closer. Oops, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Okay. All right. What you want to do right now is you want to save this zone. So click on the little disc. Click in the box on file name. Put in curl 2 because we called the first one curl 1.
I think we called it curl 2.
We called it curl 1.
Okay.
Okay, you got it. You know how to use a keyboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't. Okay, hit enter. Oh, and get rid of this and hit save. Okay, so now you want to do the basting. So you're going to move over there. Be careful, the camera's behind you. There's tripod leg. Okay, go off the quilt into the batting. Pull your bobbin. Drop the needle. There it is.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're going to just go and do the same thing before. Like, it doesn't have to be, it can overlap. It's okay. Getting a little puckery there.
Yeah.
Bring it right down to about an inch away. Okay, that's good. Go across onto the batting. Okay, stop your needle. Okay, move your needle off to the side a couple of inches. Just move the whole thing. Put your finger underneath the thread here. Drop the needle. Pull it back up. The needle. Just move the needle off to the side with your finger on that, and you should be able to pull up. Just pull up. There you go. Your scissors. Cut off the bobbin thread. Oh shoot, I had my camera down facing the wrong way here. Okay, now move it over to the other side and you're going to do the same thing. Now do be careful. You have a problem. A slight problem, not a major problem. See this?
Yeah.
It's right there is where you can get a pucker. So what we can do about that is, shoot. Can you hold the camera while I adjust this for you? It's a slippery fabric. Okay. Not the best way to do this, but it may be enough that I can.
That fabric's slippery.
Yeah, it is. It's very slippery. So I'm going to try to grab more of the batting. This is not the way to do this.
So what should have pulled it out? Should have pulled the stitches back out, right?
Well, it's not going to. It's okay now, I don't think.
Okay.
Even if it comes over here, and if you do get a tuck here, that's going to make it
Okay.
cut off, so you're okay. But that's what you got to be careful about.
Yeah.
Okay, you go over and do the other side. Now, before you do this, pull those a little taunter. Okay, that's good for that one. Okay. All right. And then keep this like this. Like you may have to put your hand, pull it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to pull up your bobbin thread though.
Do I have to do it here? No.
No, you can do it anywhere off the quilt. Okay, you're close enough. Now just, no. Drop your needle. Push your bottom button so it continues to sew. Go off the quilt. Okay. Turn off your needle. Hit the top button once. Okay, move this over that way. Grab the thread. Drop your needle. Pull up, and now just move the head of it a little bit and pull up. Pull up on the thread. There's your. Okay, you got that. All right. Now, the next thing you want to do is, you'll notice something if you look at your screen. See the blue-green dot and the red dot?
Mm.
That's the beginning. That will be the end. Okay. So instead of on this side, it's going to travel over there when you pull your bobbin thread, and it's going to start going that way. And then it'll end up back over here. It does this. It switches back and forth because we staggered that design for it. So to do this a little bit faster, you could just hit pull bobbin thread, and it'll move all the way over there. But you see how it's snail's pace that it goes. Yeah. So just move the whole carriage manually first over into that general area. Yep. Okay. Now just hit pull bobbin.
Shouldn't I move it up here?
Doesn't matter. It's going to go there. It's going to go where it's supposed to go. No. On here. Pull bobbin. Wait for it. It's going to come back up. Okay, now put your lead thread underneath and pull up your bobbin. Yeah.
That's not the thread.
Well, get the right thread. Okay, you probably just lost your bobbin.
Oh, no, I got it. Here.
Oh, okay. All right. Hang on to your tails loosely. Remember, what this machine is going to do, it's going to take 3 stitches to lock the stitch, and it's pulling your thread down. So all you need to do now is hit sew. Wait for it. Okay. Now, okay. What you should have done is pulled those off to the side. It's not a big deal, but it just keeps them out of your way. Okay. And now it's doing the second zone. Now, the second zone has about the same number of stitches, so it may or may not run out of bobbin thread at this stage. If it doesn't run out of it at this stage, when we get to the third zone, it definitely will, and that's fine. I'll show you what to do. However, something that I forget to do all the time, which you shouldn't forget to do, is remove your tape, because it will sew over top of your painter's tape. And it's not impossible to get it off, but it's just a pain in the butt. Now, while this is doing that, I'm just going to go to the back. If you could move over this way. I'm just going to go to the back of the machine and take a look at the stitches on the back, if you can see them. Yep. Tension is good. No problem there. So that looking good. Now, of course, you can't see his stitching, but you can see the texture that it's leaving, because we used a really light color in the bobbin here. But that's okay. So, what are you thinking now about it? Are you starting to get in love with your quilt?
You mean?
Do you like the pattern?
Yeah, it's good.
I think it looks fine. I think it's suitable to this. Okay, so we'll let it do its thing, and as I said, we're probably going to have to put in a new bobbin shortly, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we were sewing merrily along, but like always, we have a little problem, but this is a common problem. It's not really a problem. We ran out of bobbin thread. The sensor went off, but the machine still travels a little bit away. So if you look down here right now, and I can't move this carriage yet, but that's okay. But if we trace back to where this loose thread is, we ran out of bobbin thread right, oops, sorry about that. I'll have to cut that out. Right here. See how far away from the needle it is? But that's not a problem. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to know where that spot is. Now this is a difficult...
Well, you were just showing that the machine continues to travel.
Yeah.
When it...
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I know that, but you said you got to cut that out, but you'll cut out the voiceover too.
Well, whatever. Okay.
Whatever.
Whatever. Maybe I'll cut it out, maybe I won't, who knows. But what I'm trying to say is, how are we going to do this? This is the part that used to mystify me and scare me. It scared me so much that I used to take out, I would replace the bobbin when it got to the edge of the quilt rather than in the middle. Not a problem now. But what we want to do right now is, because this thread is very difficult to see on this quilt, is grab me a piece of painter's tape, please. Pull off a little piece. And I want you just to stick it right around there. Just so I know where I'm going back, because I'm going to be moving this out of the way. Okay. So, you hang on to the camera and... like herding cats. Okay. So, this is where I want to get that back, but in the meantime, I got to replace the bobbin. But look, I cannot move this. It's locked. So I'm going to go in here, and here there's a little button that says release carriage. Hit that. Now my carriage moves. And I'm going to bring it closer to me at the front of the machine. I'm going to cut the top thread off of this. And I'm just going to leave that little strand right there because it's a good way for me to see where that left off. And we need to grab a new bobbin. So we'll grab a new bobbin. Now, you're probably going to say, shouldn't you let Walter do this? Yeah, I should, but he's slow at this part, but he's going to be doing something here in a second. And it's a little can be a little overwhelming. So I'm just going to go under here. I'm going to reach in.
Under her skirt.
I'm under her skirt. Oh, Lucy, you nasty girl. Ooh, she giggles a little when I do that. I think she peed a little too. Anyways, we put the bobbin in, threaded the bobbin case. Okay, all good. And sorry, Lucy. Think of it as your annual exam, okay? I'm all thumbs with you, Lucy. Oh, Lucy. Lucy, I can't find your... Lucy, what you do with it? Oh, a little help, I got it in the right one. Anyways, tickle, tickle. Okay, Lucy, why am I... Oh, I'm without a bobbin. All right. Oh, well, it would help if the bobbin hadn't dropped into the garbage. Slipped out, right out of it. Yeah, I seldom have this problem, but...
Only on camera.
Yep, only on camera. You saw it here first, people. Okay, let's try this again. Might be a little bit too much tail. Okay, there's a joke in there, too. Oh, why is it everything in quilting is filthy? It's just... filthy. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, Lucy, open up. That's a girl. Good, Lucy. Good, 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 good. Oh, okay, Lucy. Now that didn't hurt much, did it, dear? No. Okay, so now we got to get this sucker back to where we left off. So you move it as close to that area, and we marked it here with this tape, and I can take the tape off, and I can see where my last stitch is. There it is there. I'm putting this really close to it. But now I'm going to go to repair pattern. And I have a choice, last stitch or closest stitch. That means it's going to move the needle to either what the last stitch was. But the last stitch, this took me a while to figure out. Logically, you think, well, the last stitch, that's the stitch. No. Remember it traveled?
Yeah.
It thinks the last stitch is up here somewhere. So we go closest stitch. And I move that little, because I'm very close to where it is. But I am not exact. And this is where the nudge buttons come in. So I'll just nudge it down one. It just does one stitch and another. I was going to have you do this. Okay, I'm going to have you do it. Okay, that's probably close enough. Yeah, that's close enough. But I'm going to go up here, release the carriage.
I can't remember what you did.
I will walk you through it. Oops.
Okay, so I stick it close to the...
Where the one it was. Can you see it? No, you're way off.
It's right there.
Okay. I left that string in there so you can see. Okay. So now, what are you going to push on here?
Close the stitch.
Yes. Okay, now look down there and see if you can see the stitch. And it might help if you pull this up a little bit because you'll see.
It's not close.
So you're up a little high?
Yeah, and a little over.
Okay, so go down one at a time.
Well, see, it's a little over, too.
Okay, so then you can use the other ones at the top to nudge left or right. And if you're on top of the stitch, don't worry about it. In fact, that's okay.
I think it's pretty close.
Okay, so you're happy with that? You need to pull your bobbin thread. So you hit the pull bobbin thread.
Do I hold this?
Sorry, do not hit pull bobbin thread. Do it manually. Top button, up and down. Yeah, hold your... Okay, bring it up. Okay, now pull the bobbin thread. Okay, got your tails. Pull out.
No, actually, I don't have the tail. I see the bobbin thread under there, but...
Okay, get a hold of it. You might want to use your tweezers. They're on top.
I can't pull it through the hole, can I?
What hole? Did it drop down? If it dropped down, just...
It is there, but it's so... It's
so what? I can't see. There you go. You got it. Yay. And you only have one strand, right? Yeah, of the bobbin thread. Yes. Because the reason I say that is because sometimes you can end up pulling a double, and you need to then cut it and try again. That happens if you hit. Okay, so it's all lined up. So all you have to do now is hit sew on here.
okay.
And then you want to hold those. You know, sometimes if you hold it with your right hand and then hit that. But if you want to cross over, cross over. Okay, where are your scissors located at? I have them. Okay, wait till that gets out of your way. And then trim the threads. Goes to the quilt. Don't cut your quilt.
Oh, shit.
Dump it on the floor. Okay. Give me the scissors because you shouldn't be allowed to play with them. So there. That's all there is to lining it up so when your bobbin runs out, and it will, you can get it in alignment. You know how long that took me to figure that out? A long time, to the point where I was dreading it. And then one day the light came on. Don't ask me why. I figured, maybe this up. So, in fact, I almost enjoy doing that now. The lining it up and everything. Okay, so we're going to let it finish this zone, and then we have another advancement to do on the quilt, and there may be a little teeny bit left here to quilt, so that's a little special, and we'll come to that when we get there and I'll show Walter how to work with that. Okay, so next week will be the last installment of that series, and we're out of series. So we need some suggestions for something we can do that can be a series. I really like doing a series because we can video a series in one afternoon and then it gets chopped into pieces, and it's just easier to do a series than every week trying to come up with a new segment. Also, it gives us an opportunity to talk about certain topics in a lot more detail than we would go into maybe on here on a regular basis. Now, we've done the AccuQuilt series, we've done the embroidery machine series, and now we've done the long arm series. Is there something else you would like? Now, here's one suggestion that we won't do, because some people have made this suggestion, and it's not a bad suggestion, but Walter won't go for it. People said, have Walter do a series on making a shirt, and he doesn't want to do that. And, well, I can understand why.
Yeah, because it's a lengthy process.
Yeah.
And I really only do make one. I've only ever made a couple of different models of shirts, and I tend to make this one pattern,
The
Gosling, all the time, and I just sort of do it. I don't even have to look at the instructions, but it is a lengthy process to make a shirt. Like, I mean, a lot of people think, okay, you don't have that many seams or anything like that. That should be easy to do, but no, it's actually it's a long process.
Well, there's a lot of pieces in it.
Well, there's 2 yokes, 2 sleeves,
no yoke,
a front, two fronts and a back, right? And then the collar is 3 pieces, and there is a big, huge learning curve to put the sleeves in. And I've looked at all different ways of doing it, but every time I put a sleeve in, I have trouble with it. And it takes me a long time to do it.
So in other words, he's not doing a series on making a shirt. Now, I had a thought in my head, but I don't know what it would be. And I was thinking, maybe we should do a series where the 2 of us, combining our talents, create one project together. But I don't know what it would be. Walter teaches Stephen how to make a shirt. No.
No, because
that would take too long for one thing, and he'd kill me, or I'd kill him.
I think having done both quilting, a little bit of quilting, and shirt making tends to have a lot of fudging going on.
Yeah, well, that's quilt making, at least the way I do it.
Well, not a lot of fudging. I do a lot of stuff pretty much. But I do have problems sometimes putting sleeves in. And it is, I don't know, it's just a process.
Yeah, we got it already. You said, okay, it takes a long time. It's very involved. You don't want to do it. Okay, got that.
Okay, like I hear people doing a quilt top in a day. Well, I can't do a shirt in a day.
Eleanor Burns doesn't even do one in a day. She's got staff. That's a misnomer or whatever. A quilt in a day. Yeah, no. Well, you could if it was great big squares and you weren't doing anything except sewing big squares together. Yep, you could do a quilt top in a day, not a problem. But
I'm not a good teacher. I don't think I could go through telling people how to do it properly.
I don't know. Maybe we should do, but they take a while. I was going to say one of the 3-dimensional freestanding lace things. But that does take a while, but that would make a series. I mean, have to, but I mean, I'm not sure how interesting that would be, really, because I mean, most of the time when you're doing something like that, you're staring at the machine and watching it stitch out and things like that. Well, we'll think about it, but I hope you guys can think of some things too. And if you've got any ideas, even if you think we won't go for it, send it to us anyways, because even though we might not do that particular idea, it gives us other ideas, spin-offs, things we hadn't thought of before. So, no idea is a stupid idea. Unless you turn around and you want a tutorial on how to do a shirt, and we've already told you that we're not doing that. Walter's already told you he's not going to do that. So anyways, just drop them into the comments section or send them to us as an email or whatever, and your ideas would be most appreciated. Okay, so I think that's it for us today. So tomorrow, Pop-Up Sew Day, as I said. I open the doors at 8 a.m. The link is in the show notes below. All are welcome. And Sunday at 4 o'clock, we will have Stephen and Walter live, and I have no idea what we're talking about this week. In fact, I do have in my notes, if we actually follow my notes, we often don't, Q&A. We haven't done a Q&A in a long time. You know, we'll open it up to whatever questions you want to ask us. You can ask us anything. Doesn't mean we'll answer them all. And maybe some of them we'll lie about. I mean, we'll embellish. I mean, we won't tell you the truth. I mean, you know, we'll make up stories. Whatever. But we'll see. So, hope you have a good weekend, whatever you're doing this weekend. And happy Pride. And we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Bye for now.